How many of you have thought, someday when this happens, I'll be totally happy? We're going to talk about it in today's podcast. Hi, my name is Michael Johnson. I'm a ballroom dance professional, a life coach, and a peak performance expert. I'm part of a group of motivated people who are dedicated to attaining emotional mastery and unlocking our full potential. We've realized life is a dance. The ups and downs can spin you out of your mind, but it's time to take back control. It's time to become a lifer. We don't believe others are responsible for how we feel. In fact, we don't believe anyone can make us feel anything. We are a new breed of overachievers. Emotional mastery is our journey, and unlocking our full potential is the key. Welcome to the journey. We are lifers, and this is Magic for Life. What's up, everybody? Michael Johnson here with the Magic for Life podcast, and I'm so excited you joined me today. To all my lifers out there that are killing it and working hard, pushing hard, and trying to improve your lives, kudos. I'm so excited you're here, and I'm excited you're listening, and I'd love for you to share the podcast with somebody else that you think needs to hear it. So lots of great episodes. If you haven't, hit the like button or subscribe down below, hit the little notification bell. That way you can get notified every time that we put out a new episode. I'm so excited you're here today. We're going to talk about something that we are all guilty of thinking and of experiencing in our life, which is this idea that someday I'll be happy. Or when this happens, I'll be happy. Or when so-and-so does this, I'll be happy. And we put these qualifiers on how we are essentially living, how things are going for us. And we look outside ourselves and say, well, when I finally find my significant other, I'll be happy. When I find the person of my dreams, I'll be happy. And you hear this all the time. It's in common everyday language, and it's a typical thing that we hear. So you probably have heard it. In fact, I'd love to hear from you. Comment down below when you've heard somebody say that, or if you have one from yourself. Put yourself out there a little bit. It'll be all right. That's the cool beauty of an internet community. Not everybody knows who you are, and so there is an element of safeness. So put in the comments, when have you said, I'll be happy when? This is an interesting dilemma, because you look at something and you go, well, I'm not happy now. So you've identified that, and you go, well, I'll be happy when my business takes off. I'll be happy when this happens. Like I find my significant other. I'll be happy when I fall in love. I'll be happy when I get that job of my dreams. I'll be happy when I'm not working here anymore. Right? You've probably said that. You've probably had a job or two in your lifetime where you have said that, and you've experienced that. So what's really going on with this idea? I'll be happy. Excuse me. I'll be happy when? Well, what happens if you're just happy now? Are you allowed to do that? Ask yourself, am I allowed to just be happy now? And many of you go, well, yeah, but. Okay, well, let's take out the yeah, but. If you realize it, maybe if you haven't realized it at this point, you can be happy now, right now, because you decided to. Here's the crazy part. You can be happy about that thing that you said, someday when this happens, I'll be happy. You can actually just be happy about that right now. You can say, well, when I'm not working here anymore, I'll be happy. Well, you have to make the best of it and say, okay, well, I'm going to be happy now. Maybe you need the income. Maybe you need it to be able to pay the bills and put a roof over your head and eat, and all of the typical basics from Maslow's hierarchy of needs. Maybe all those things are true. And so maybe you have to keep that job, but you're saying, I'll be happy when. So you've basically given yourself a reason to not be happy until you're not working there, which means that you need to either quit or you need to change it and learn how to be happy. We're going to talk about how to do it here in just a second, okay? So I'm not going to leave you hanging today. Not that I really do ever, but you have to be able to say, I'm going to be happy now, right now, because I chose to. And what an interesting idea. Choose to be happy. You can. There are lots of things that go on in the world that you could choose to not be happy about. And depending on what you're doing every day, who you're listening to, what words get into your mind, you can actually choose how you're going to feel. And that's interesting, right? Because if you watch the news, unfortunately, the news is filled with things that are negative. It's their job to report on the things that are going on in the world. And unfortunately, we kind of bred them the way they are. The media tells us what we will pay attention to. So they say, oh, this good deed was done in this town. And we all go, nice. We say, this town is on fire because there's a forest fire that just attacked 16 homes. And we're like, we got to see more. Tell us more. What's going on? Right? So we report on the negative, or we get reported to about the negative. And so we tend to delve into that. Now, again, I believe we did it to ourselves. We are responding to things, and that's what then the media then brings back to us, as we respond to the negative things. Now, sometimes we respond to the positive things, and we need to do a better job of it, right? There's some wonderful people out there doing that, spreading the word of putting out more positive things in the world, so that we can actually all start to actually vibrate and operate on a different and better frequency, right? This is huge. So back to this idea of I'll be happy when. And my response to that, or my finishing statement to that, is I will be happy when I decide to be happy. And so now the trick and the challenge is deciding to be happy. Now remember, to make a decision is not the same thing as making a cake or making a cupcake. You can make a cupcake. You can put all the right ingredients in. You can make it. You can eat it. But you have a cupcake. You have a thing. You have a tangible thing that you made. When you make a decision, you still have to make a decision to make a cupcake. And that's huge, right? Because you don't actually have anything tangible. You don't have a thing when you make a decision. Now, interestingly enough, it starts with a decision. You have to decide to be happy. And to decide is literally an action. It's a verb, remember, to decide. And so as we take that verb, that action, and decide to be happy, we start to realize that being happy is also an action. And I know that a lot of people don't talk about it that way. In fact, if you look at the actual true use of the word, happy is a descriptor. It is an adjective, right? So for those of you that aren't up on your grammar or your linguistics, that's okay. Happy is typically some way of describing how you feel. It's a descriptor. It tells you, like, hey, this is blue. My shirt is blue. It describes this shirt. Well, so if we take a feeling and we say, well, let's describe that feeling is happy. Happy becomes the description of it. However, I'd like you to change that. Change the approach, change the idea in your head that happy is a thing. It is not a cupcake, right? And I know I say that half in jest, right? But half true, maybe more than half true. It is not a cupcake. It is not something you made. It is not something that you have to live with. It's not something that if it goes away, it's bad. Although sometimes when we eat our cupcakes, we're not that happy afterwards because they're gone. Right? But being happy, think about that. Are you being happy? Meaning, are you taking the action of being happy, doing it, actually executing happy? So you don't have to wait till something happens. You can actually choose to do. So let's talk about that. How do we do that? Let's practice it right now. Are you ready? Are you willing? Are you ready to play full out? Please take some action. Please take some action. Can I say that one more time? Please take some action. I'm ready to be happy. In fact, comment that in the comments below. I am ready to be happy. Right? You've got to choose to be happy. And can't be because of some other reason. That's it. Not because something else outside of you made you happy. Nobody can make you feel anything. And if you've been following me for a while and maybe you've heard the Lifer's Creed, right? The Lifer's Creed, it says very clearly, nobody can make me feel anything. And let's say no thing can make me feel anything. And we believe that. As lifers, we believe that. Nobody can make us feel anything. The only person that can make you feel anything is you. And I'm calling you out right now. I'm saying it again and again and again and again. And maybe this might be the reason you need to share this with somebody, because they might need to hear this today. A little tough love that says nobody can make you feel anything, just you. You can decide, and you may suck at it. And so I'm sorry if I'm the one that's the bearer of bad news for you. You may suck at being happy, but that doesn't mean you don't have the capability of being happy. But it is your response ability to be happy, not another thing, not another something outside, not another event, not another vacation, not another movie, not another thing, but you. You get to decide, you get to do it. So let's do it. Are you ready? Let's practice for just a moment. Let's just practice a simple one like being happy. And you know what? Here's what we're going to do. There's lots of ways to do this, okay? Just so you know, there's lots of ways to practice this. And if you want to know more, let me know. Just comment, I want to know more in the comments below, and we'll make sure to get you some information on how to practice this, right? If you want to find out more about how to practice an emotion, please tell me. This is the stuff I do every day. I love talking about emotions. So if you want some help practicing, let me know, right? There's help. Okay, but let's do it together. Let's do it together. It's simple. Now, I'd love you to close your eyes, although if you're watching the video, you can keep watching the video. It's kind of a catch-22, but still, if you're listening, close your eyes unless you're driving or doing something like operating machinery or something. Don't close your eyes. If you're on a treadmill, don't close your eyes, okay? This is a bad idea, but you can do it with your eyes open. Sometimes it's just nice when you close your eyes to block out all the other sensory experiences that are going on. And so by closing your eyes, you can actually just hone in on your own thoughts. So for right now, we're going to use our past. We're going to use something from our past, anything from our past. And it could be any little thing or it could be a big thing. Right now, think of something. Think of an experience that you've had that was happy. That's it. Any experience that was happening. And on a scale from 1 to 10, 10 being the most happy you've ever been and 0 being you're dead. And you don't know what that's like because you're here watching this video. So, well, that mostly makes sense. Unless you've died and come back to life. And if you have, whoa, I bet that was an experience. So, happy. I want you to think of an experience where you're happy, and I'd love it to be an experience that maybe fell in the category of, a 5 to a 10 somewhere. Why? Because 1, 2, 3, and 4, it's like, oh, somebody gave me a pen. Thanks. I'm happy about that. I needed a pen to write this down. Great. So that's not really in a 5 to 10 sort of range. So you think of this happy, and all I want you to do is think about it. Close your eyes and think about it for a second. Remember that experience as clearly as you can. And literally, if you can see everything you can see in that experience, go ahead and start to see it. If it's a still picture, let's try to turn it into a movie, a video, just like it was on YouTube. And see a video in your mind of being happy. That's it. See it in your mind. Start to play that video. Play it on a loop. Make it just go over and over again. It doesn't have to be a super long video, but see everything. What were you wearing? What color was it? What were you seeing? Are there trees? Are you inside? Are you outside? What kind of light was it? Start to see that right now and imagine that in your head. See it very, very clearly. Now, what sounds do you hear in that experience that you're remembering? Just hear those sounds and hear it very clearly. Did somebody say something to you? Were there words in there? Did you hear it? And it's very clear. Is a buzzing of maybe a fan or something. Hear that thing in your mind, because some of you hear it better than you see it. That's fine. What do you feel tactilely? What do you feel? What did it feel like when you were happy in that experience? That's great. Now breathe that way. Breathe the same exact way you were breathing in that experience that you remember. That's it. Just breathe that way right now. Now, keep playing the movie. See it over and over again. Say those things or hear those things that you were hearing and feel that way right now. Feel it. Where is it in your body? Can you feel it in your body? Was it in your back, in your neck, in your head? Was it in your hands, in your fingertips, in your toes? Did it tingle? Did it give you the chills? How did it make you feel in your body when you were happy in that experience? Can you think of it? Can you describe that experience? Can you relive that experience in your mind? Breathe that way right now. Now, it wasn't that hard to get there, was it? So stop for a second and realize it's not that challenging to get to that point. Wherever your awareness goes, your energy will flow. That is a thing. So put your awareness on that. Now, if you practice that all the time, it might be easier and easier to get happy when you want. Now, having the willpower to do it, now that's a whole other story, right? Because we have to actually take the time to practice. If you want to shoot a free throw well, you've got to practice. If you want to do happy well, you've got to practice. Happy is an action. It's a verb. That's what we're changing it to. That's what we want to think of it as. We've got to practice it. And if you practice it every day, you've noticed in your life, some people around you are happier than others. Why is that? Some of them practice it more than others, right? Some of them practice sad. You might be here today because somebody shared this podcast with you because you seem to be sad all the time and they just wanted you to be happy. And here you are still with me right now. And I'm telling you, if you can put your awareness to a happy experience and do it more often and practice it, it will get easier. And then the willpower you need, right? I said will. The willpower you need to be able to execute happy on a regular basis will be there. So today's the day. Today's the day that you need to start practicing happy. Start practicing. It takes practice, right? Go to the mental gym of emotions and practice your happy. All right. Commit. Write it in the comments below. Say, I am going to practice being happy every day, at least once every day. Because I said so, because I decided, because I chose to be happy. I'm just going to practice it once every day. And you could do it for 5 minutes. You could do it for 2 minutes. You could do it for 20 minutes. But the more you practice, the easier it gets to be happy. Whatever your awareness goes to, that's where your energy will flow. And then it gets easier. Please. Start to practice happy, not someday when something else happens, right now, today. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and please share this with somebody that needs to hear it today. Somebody that needs a little bit of happiness and needs to know that they can do it, that they can turn on happy themselves. I sure appreciate you, and thank you for listening. Let's share it with some other people that need to become lifers out there. We'll see you at the next podcast. Take care. Bye-bye. Happiness is a choice. Sadness is a choice. All emotions are a choice. Sometimes doing our emotions doesn't seem like it's our choice, but it is. You have control. You are the captain of your ship, and you must learn how to be the best captain you can be. Let me show you how. Pick up your free copy of my new book, Every Minute, at everyminutebook.com.